championship-leading teenager Kimi Antonelli has claimed pole position for the Miami Grand Prix as the race's start time was brought forward by 3 hours due to an expected heavy rainstorm. The 19-year-old Italian, the youngest title race leader in Formula One history, resisted a late charge by four-time champion Max Verstappen in a tense qualifying session on Saturday.
Mukalla, Yemen. At the Mukalla Creative Hub, a man in a black t-shirt leans over a desk to help a colleague with his project, while other men remain fixed on their laptop screens. Nearby, women sit in ergonomic office chairs, writing or scrolling on their phones. On the other side of the space in Yemen's coastal city of Mukalla, a sleek cafe-style counter stands at the entrance, while colourful armchairs are neatly arranged and occupied by a few people working among rows of computers. What draws entrepreneurs, remote freelancers, and students here is not just the stylish setting or uninterrupted electricity, but something far more essential: fast, reliable Starlink satellite internet. Joel Embiid had 34 points, 12 rebounds and 6 assists, and Tyrese Maxey added 30 points and 11 rebounds to lead the Philadelphia 76ers to a 109-100 victory over the host Boston Celtics in Game 7 of their Eastern Conference first-round playoff series. The 76ers won the final 3 games in the series on Saturday after losing the first, third and fourth games.
And Taiwan. President William Lai Ching-te says government will never give up on engaging with the world as he visited Eswatini, despite China's efforts to block the trip. Lai arrived in Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, on Saturday after meticulous arrangements made by our diplomatic and national security teams. He said in a Facebook post, although it is unclear how he arrived in the kingdom.
Wildfires that scorched forests in northern Japan, reportedly the second biggest in over 30 years, have been brought under control after 11 days. Officials have said hundreds of firefighters and more than 1,000 military personnel had battled the blazes since late April as they burned around 1,600 hectares, 4,000 acres, across the mountainous Iwate region. Brazilian welterweight Carlos Prates dominated hometown fighter Jack Della Maddalena to win their main event clash at UFC Fight Night in Perth, Australia. Prates dropped the Aussie to the canvas with a chopping calf kick late in the second round and knocked him down 3 more times in the third with a big knee, a head kick and a leg kick before the referee stopped the fight on Saturday.
And Chinese scientists have developed a new generation of low-cost energy storage technology using iron-based chemistry that could significantly reshape large-scale renewable power systems. Researchers at the Institute of Metal Research under the Chinese Academy of Sciences have engineered an advanced all-iron flow battery that completed more than 6,000 charge-discharge cycles and is equivalent to over 16 years of daily grid operation.
The West's legacy media and cultural products might be suffering from what is often called institutional inertia. Recently, they have been using old conceptual understandings of a world that is fast being changed by new realities. According to the American sociologist William F. Ogburn, this condition occurs when mental models fail to adjust to rapid shifts in the material and geopolitical reality. In the context of the 21st century, this inertia is particularly visible in Western media's refusal to acknowledge the erosion of long-standing hegemonic narratives, especially those concerning American power, the State of Israel, the emergence of assertive middle powers, and the reshaping of nations such as Pakistan. Warning for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander readers. This article contains references to someone who has died. Police in Australia's Northern Territory, NT, have charged a man with murder and 2 counts of sexual assault following the death of a 5-year-old girl.
A new peer-reviewed study has found that students who rely heavily on artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT, Claude and Gemini may improve short-term performance but could suffer permanent memory loss and poor cognitive health. The research by Social Sciences and Humanities Open examined how unrestricted access to AI assistance affects learning outcomes among university students.
When the sun sets over the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore on Sunday evening, the lovers of Pakistan cricket will celebrate. They will rejoice, regardless of who takes the HBL Pakistan Super League Season 11 trophy. It will be festive even before the first ball is bowled. Lahore. The Counter-Terrorism Department has arrested a YouTuber for recruiting individuals for a banned outfit and registered a case against him under the Anti-Terrorism Act 1997. The FIR identified the suspect as Mohammed Saad bin Riaz, associated with YouTube channel named Eon News. A case has been registered against him on behalf of the state under Section 11F2. Pertaining to membership and support of a proscribed organisation and Section 11W, which relates to the dissemination of material linked to banned groups.
And the explosive-laden quadcopter skimmed above the rooftops of southern Lebanon, navigating with precision between bombed-out buildings and along dirt roads. The drone gave its operator a clear first-person picture of its target, an Israeli tank with soldiers standing nearby. At the top of the picture, in white letters, were two words:
The United Arab Emirates has lifted all flight restrictions put in place since the start of the United States and Israel's war on Iran. The country's Civil Aviation Authority has announced all air operations have returned to normal status in UAE airspace, the General Civil Aviation Authority said in a statement on Saturday.
The United States has approved $86 billion in arms sales to Middle Eastern allies amid the US-Israel war on Iran. The sales come after US Secretary of State Marco Rubio cited emergency circumstances to fast-track the transfers without prior review by the US Congress. The citizenry forgets to its own peril how important a free and independent media is in the preservation of their personal freedoms. Today, on World Press Freedom Day, it is worth reflecting on the state of our media and how continuing restrictions on its ability to function independently may, in fact, jeopardize individual liberties. There is no democracy without accountability of power. And how is accountability possible if one is punished for speaking up? Such is today's dilemma as press freedom goes through yet another tough phase, with lawfare, enforced disappearances, online campaigns, harassment, and harsh financial tactics employed against those attempting to express opinions deemed unfavorable to the power wielders.
And while Pakistan remained preoccupied with facilitating talks between the US and Iran, the public discourse largely overlooked critical developments on other fronts, particularly internal security challenges and a worsening relationship with Afghanistan and the approaching first anniversary of the Pakistan-India standoff. The enthusiasm surrounding Pakistan's role in a high-stakes global diplomatic effort has in many ways diverted attention from pressing domestic and regional concerns. In this fixation with great power diplomacy, media and opinion makers have also failed to adequately reflect on how the war is affecting the ordinary citizen. And while one can't look at the sky and ground at the same time, walking while gazing upwards can be dangerous, especially on a bumpy terrain.
United States President Donald Trump has said he is reviewing Iran's 14-point proposal to end his war on the country, while warning that Washington could restart airstrikes if Tehran misbehaves. Speaking to reporters in Florida before boarding Air Force One on Saturday, Trump confirmed that he had been briefed on the concept of the deal. Peshawar. A lawyer on Saturday moved the Peshawar High Court challenging the recent transfer of 3 judges of the Islamabad High Court to other provinces, along with the relevant constitutional provisions. Advocate Hastam Khan Khalil filed a petition in the PHC requesting that the Judicial Commission of Pakistan's JCP's April 28 decision to transfer judges of the IHC be declared un-Islamic, unconstitutional and illegal, along with the relevant articles of the Constitution.
And Al-Qaeda leader had agreed in writing to relocate by September 2011. 2 brothers sheltering him sought separation, citing exhaustion. Agency claims to be entirely unaware of the relocation plan, says delayed raid would have missed the opportunity, Washer reasons. A decade after the operation that killed Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad, a fresh Central Intelligence Agency CIA account reveals that the Al-Qaeda leader nearly slipped out of his hideout months before the US raid.
If even one extra person is able to access the internet, I think it's successful and it's worth it, says Sarhand. The Iranian man is visibly anxious, speaking to the BBC outside Iran, as he carefully explains how he is part of a clandestine network smuggling satellite internet technology, which is illegal in Iran, into the country.
When Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, serious-faced and clad in black, strolled down a lilac carpet in Saudi Arabia in March, it marked a moment in the US-Israeli war in Iran. A rather unexpected one. In a post on X, he said his visit was to strengthen the protection of lives. A rescue team on Saturday released from a barge in the North Sea a humpback whale that had been stranded in shallow waters near Germany since March. Witnesses said nicknamed Timmy by German media. The whale was spotted swimming near Germany's Baltic Sea coast on March 3, far from its natural habitat in the Atlantic Ocean.
Ask.com, the search engine and question and answer service formerly known as Ask Jeeves, has shut down. Ask Jeeves first launched in 1996 and, with its focus on answering conversational questions posed in natural language, was arguably a precursor to today's AI-powered chatbots. For most of its 30-year history, however, it's been overshadowed by other search products, especially Google. The organization behind the Academy Awards released new Oscar rules on Friday, including several that address the use of generative artificial intelligence. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences said that only performances credited in the film's legal billing and demonstrably performed by humans with their consent will be eligible for Academy Awards. Similarly, the Academy said that screenplays must be human-authored to be eligible. A drone strike carried out by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, has killed 5 civilians in Khartoum, according to an NGO. The attack, which emergency lawyers, an independent legal group supporting victims of human rights violations in Sudan, reported on Saturday, is the second to take place in the capital within a week. It follows months of relative calm in the city after government forces regained control last year.
And at least 6 people have died in heavy rains in northeastern Brazil, with thousands more displaced, according to authorities. The deaths were reported in the Pernambuco and Paraíba states on Saturday, following 2 days of rain. And a humpback whale calf that earned huge media attention and the nickname Timmy after being repeatedly stranded in shallow waters near Germany has been released into the North Sea by rescue team. The operation to save the sea mammal, launched as its health deteriorated, transported Timmy in a water-filled barge and released him off Denmark on Saturday.
The governor of the Mexican state of Sinaloa said on Friday he will temporarily step down from his post. Days after he was indicted in the US on drug trafficking charges, Ruben Rocha Moya, the governor of Sinaloa since 2021, and 9 current or former high-ranking Mexican officials were charged in a 5-count indictment unsealed Wednesday with allegedly helping a faction of the cartel led by the Chapitos, the sons of Joaquin Guzman Loera, also known as El Chapo.